You know, it's funny. The biggest impacts on a city often come from people whose names you might never even hear. Well, today, we're going to tell you one of those stories about a New Yorker who has spent decades turning crisis into creation and empty lots into communities that are truly alive. And this quote, man, this really gets to the heart of it. This is a story about making a huge impact, not with a ton of cash, but with just pure will, creativity, and this deep, deep commitment to service. It's the tension at the center of it all that makes this story so incredible. So yeah, that's the big question, right? How did he do it? That's what we're going to dig into today. We're going to break it down and look at 3 different chapters of his work: healing, nature, and technology, to really understand the power of one person who's just completely dedicated to building community. Let's get into it. Okay, so the man we're talking about is Keith de Cesare. And for decades, this guy has been this quiet but incredibly powerful force for good in northern Manhattan, just serving his community with a kind of consistency you almost never see. I mean, 40 years, think about that. That's practically a lifetime of service. And his whole thing is just action. He sees a problem and he doesn't wait around for someone to give him the green light or a bunch of money. He just figures it out and starts building. And this quote, it just nails his whole philosophy. See, it's one thing to make something for the community. It's a whole other level to create something with them. His work doesn't just serve people, it actually builds the community by bringing them all together. And right here, this is what it looks like in practice. The projects are run by the people who live there, the residents, the parents. And when you do that, you create this amazing sense of ownership and shared purpose. Suddenly, neighbors aren't just neighbors anymore, they're partners. Okay, so to really get how this works, we've got to go back in time, back to one of New York's absolute darkest moments. The first piece of his work is all about responding to tragedy with art and with empathy. So picture this. It's right after September 11th, 2001. The city is just reeling. People were desperate for some kind of comfort, for a place to grieve, for any way to make sense of it all. But official responses, they take time. And what's just incredible is how fast he acted. I mean, before the official agencies even had a plan, Keith was already there, on the ground. He started this volunteer effort called ArtAID, and its mission was simple, but so profound: use art to help a city heal. So ArtAID went on to create the very first public memorials and viewing platforms at Ground Zero. They gave New Yorkers a place to come together and to mourn. He personally designed the firefighter's angel as a memorial for fallen first responders. He put up healing art displays in St. Paul's Chapel, which had become this little sanctuary for the recovery workers. This was art doing what it does best, providing real, tangible healing when people needed it most. Okay, fast forward to today. That same spirit, that idea of turning something neglected into something beautiful, it's still at the absolute core of what he does. Only now, the focus is on the environment, bringing people together by literally growing life. So look at this. On one side, you've got the problem, right? These forgotten, empty corners of the city. But on the other side, you see the solution, the Inwood Butterfly Sanctuary. What he does is turn these spots into these incredible, vibrant homes for the endangered monarch butterfly. And in the process, he creates this beautiful, growing community where people, especially kids, can learn about nature firsthand. So you might be wondering, how does this actually happen? Well, in the model, it's pretty simple, but it's so powerful. First up, you've got to restore the native habitat, so they plant milkweed, the only thing monarch caterpillars eat. Second, you get the community involved directly: students, parents, neighbors, all helping to plant. Third, that hands-on work creates a whole new generation of little environmental stewards. And finally, it's all done through partnerships with NYC parks, local schools, and the people who live right there. And you can really see the impact here. As New York State Senator Robert Jackson put it, this isn't just about planting flowers and making the neighborhood look nice. It's also this amazing educational asset that gives kids a real, tangible connection to the natural world. So we've talked about healing the past and we've talked about nurturing the present. Now, let's talk about the future. Because Keith is already focused on what he sees as the next huge challenge, especially for underserved kids, this new kind of digital divide. And here's the thing you have to understand. The digital divide isn't what it used to be. It's not just about having internet access anymore. Today, it's about who has the skills to actually work with powerful tools like artificial intelligence. If you don't have those skills, you risk getting left behind. So what's his answer? It's this incredible program called BridgingTomorrow, and it offers free AI education.
And just check out what they're teaching. This isn't your typical coding class. It's all about ethics, creativity, and critical thinking. The whole point is to make students into creators, not just passive consumers. I absolutely love this part, teaching kids to be AI detectives so they can spot bias. He wants them to see AI as a creative catalyst, an exoskeleton for the mind. What a cool way to put it.
So, when you step back and look at it all together, the art, the nature, the technology, what you see is this incredible story of a life that's been dedicated to service and the amazing ripple effect that just one person can have. 40 years. For 4 decades, Keith DeCasara has just been showing up for his city, finding the needs that other people overlook, and building solutions right from the ground up. And you see, even though the projects seem really different on the surface, there's this one clear thread connecting them all. A purpose to enhance, enrich, and engage his community in ways that really matter, bringing New Yorkers together through empathy and through action. Now, even though he's mostly been an unsung hero, his work has definitely gotten some well-deserved recognition. He was named New Yorker of the Week. He won a major Anthem Award for Community Engagement, a humanitarian award from the City Council, and his work with ArtAID, it's now part of the permanent collection at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. And really, this brings us full circle, right back to the beginning. Every single thing we've talked about, from ArtAID to Bridging Tomorrow, none of it was done to make a profit. It's always been grassroots, nonprofit, volunteer-driven. It's service, plain and simple, in its absolute purest form. I think what Keith's story really shows us is that you don't need a huge budget or some fancy title to make a real lasting difference. It just takes a clear purpose and a willingness to act. So that leaves us with one final question for you.